Hello. Hey, a few weeks ago, I had a fascinating conversation with the researcher Danny Goler. You know, the guy with the DMT and the laser on the wall experiment? That guy. Now, Danny and I come from very different worlds, and Danny spends a lot of his time exploring consciousness, cognition, perception, and some of the deeper questions surrounding reality itself. And I spend my time working with people and observing patterns and asking questions and trying to understand what allows human beings to organize themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and maybe even spiritually. And during our conversation, Danny said something that I haven't been able to get out of my head yet. What if humanity's biggest challenge isn't technological? What if it's interpersonal, right? At first, it sounds almost too simple. After all, we're living in the most technologically advanced period in human history, right? We carry supercomputers in our pockets, and we communicate across the planet instantly. Artificial intelligence is advancing at an astonishing pace, and we split the atoms. We've mapped the genome, and we've sent machines beyond our solar system. And yet, turn on the news and look at the social media. Look at the politics. Look at the level of division that exists almost everywhere. And it raises an interesting question. If technology is advancing so quickly, why aren't we advancing at the same rate? And that's where Danny introduced an idea that I thought was worth exploring. For most of human history, we've been playing, well, what we might call a competition game, right? Compete for resources, compete for territory, compete for influence, and compete for survival. And to be fair, competition has done some remarkable things. It helped drive innovation, it helped drive progress, it helped shape civilization. But what if the very strategy that got us here isn't the strategy that takes us to where we're going next? Because if humanity ever hopes to become a truly long-term civilization, if we're talking about centuries or even thousands of years into the future, eventually we run into a very different challenge. Yeah. Coordination, trust, cooperation, shared purpose. And in other words, collaboration. Not because it's morally superior, not because it sounds nice, but because at some point, collaboration becomes an engineering requirement. Well, think about it. You can build a company through competition. You can build an industry through competition. But can you build a 1,000-year civilization that way? Can you coordinate billions of people across the generations that way? Can you become a spacefaring civilization that way? I'm not sure. And the more I thought about it, the more another question emerged. What kind of consciousness naturally creates collaboration? Because every civilization is ultimately a reflection of the minds that built it, and every system reflects the thinking behind it. Every structure reflects the consciousness that organized it, and suddenly the conversation gets much bigger. Now we're no longer talking about politics. We're not talking about economics. We're not even talking about technology. We're talking about the operating system underneath it all. And the thing that produces the decisions, the thing that produces the relationships, the thing that produces civilization, which leads to directly the question that Danny and I will be exploring next. If consciousness plays such an important role in human development, does consciousness itself operate according to rules? Are there lawful principles governing cognition? Could there be something like a cognitive physics? Not a theory, not a belief system, a question worth exploring. Because maybe the future of humanity won't be determined by what technology we build, Maybe it will be determined by what kind of people we become while building it, right? And that's where we're going next. My name is Dr. Chad Rohlfsen, and this is a collaboration with researcher Danny Goler. And this is only the beginning, so hold on, folks. All right? Hey, give me a like and a follow and share this with anybody who you may think might find this conversation interesting, because we're going places. All right? So my name is Dr. Chad Rohlfsen again. I'm with the Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center right here in Des Moines, Iowa. And Danny Goler is in Florida, and he's moving to Colorado and setting up a research center. And we have an ongoing conversation that I can't wait to share with all of you folks. So have a wonderful day, and give that dog a big old hug from me. Have a great day, folks.